Okay. Room tour. Done. Hey. Hi. Hey. Hey, my name is Ines, and this is my first ever video. I guess I'll tell you a little bit about myself before I start. I'm 24 years old, I'm Filipino, born and raised in Stamford, Connecticut, but now I switch between there and Midtown. For the past 2 years since I've graduated, I have been traveling the world with my family, and now I'd like to share it with all of you guys. This past March, I went to Tokyo with some of my family. We were originally going to go to support my mom on her second fun run, which was the day before the Tokyo Marathon, but we just thought, why not, go around Japan too. In total, we were in Japan for 8 days about. 4 days in Tokyo and 4 days in Osaka, but I think I will save that for another video. So in this video, I'm basically going to talk to you about everything we did in Tokyo, like where I ate, what we did, what I ate, where we went, where I ate. So let's get into it. So we left Manila the night of the 28th, and we stayed in the Toshima-ku area, which is about 15 minutes drive from the heart of Tokyo. So as you can tell from the intro, it was kind of a long journey to get to our Airbnb where we were staying. I mean, we had to take a train, and then a subway, then we had to walk, all of that. So needless to say, once we got to our place, we were tired and hungry. We were originally just going to go to a bar that was on our street because we were hungry and the food looked bomb, but it closed right when we got there. Luckily though, one of the waiters was kind enough to walk us to their other location, just like 5 or 6 minutes away from their place, which I think was the first taste I got of just how nice they are there, Oh, I think I should do a little preface here. This was actually my second time going to Japan. The first time I went was when I was around 14 years old, and it was from a film festival for my mom for her docudrama called Bako Boys. Oh, fun fact, I actually took Japanese my first 2 years of college, but honestly I didn't really retain as much as I wish I did. I did, however, remember most of 2 of the 3 alphabets, hiragana and katakana being basically the phonetic way of saying most or spelling most English words. So I was rusty in the beginning, but after a few days I was really surprised by how much I was able to remember. And honestly, it really did come in handy, to get my family around from place to place with the subway and everything. But I think I will save that for another video too. Okay, so now that I said all that, let's get back to the story. Once we sat down at the restaurant, we kind of realized that there was no English menu. So what was funny, I thought, was the waiter literally came over and brought his phone, and we just picked what we wanted through pictures, and I'm pretty sure he was just using Google Maps, but hey, it worked. We got karaage, which is Japanese fried chicken, the best karaage I think we had on the whole entire trip. It had this scallion kimchi topping that was fire. Fried gyoza, which are dumplings, usually stuffed with pork and veggies, which is what we got. Edamame, a beef and tofu soup with spinach and onions and carrots and all of that. Potato croquettes and a Japanese omelet. So all of the things we ordered were typical Japanese bar foods because we were at a bar. But I think this was the best thing we could have had on our first night in Japan. And with that, we move on to our first full day in Tokyo. So for my first day, I kept my outfit fairly simple. A black turtleneck, one of the 98 I own. This one's from Zara. Uniqlo jeans and my trusty vagabond booties that I'm pretty sure I got my sophomore year of college. So that was 5 years ago. In that clip you can actually see my Uniqlo heat tech, which actually did come in really handy. Since it was winter, it did get kind of cold sometimes. We started the day off by getting coffee and breakfast at a place called Dream Coffee, which was really close to where we were staying, exploring the neighborhood, and doing our laundry. Which you might be like, dude, you just got there and you're ready doing laundry? Yes. The clothes from the night before smelled like the food we had the night before. So yeah, we kind of need to wash them. We did our laundry, and while we were waiting for it, we went to a Japanese dollar store, or I guess yen store, like a Daiso. And we also got taiyaki, which are fish-shaped pancake of sorts, usually filled with red bean paste or sweet potato. The kind that we got were red bean. And then after we got finished up with the laundry, we made our way to an Ichiran. For those of you who don't know, Ichiran is a ramen chain that specializes in pork tonkotsu ramen. And they have locations in Japan, obviously, Taipei, Hong Kong, Brooklyn, and New York. So the way it works, which is how most noodle places in Japan work, is you walk in and put money into a vending machine type thing to make your order. When you push on what you want, a ticket comes out. And then when you're done with that, you're given a paper to fill out things like how thick you want the broth, how spicy you want it, do you want garlic on it, kind of like to personalize your order. After all that, you're brought to your own personal booth, complete with a water dispenser. I think the whole concept of the ramen cubicles is to reduce the stigma of eating alone. Also, my tita told me that the booth concept was done for high school girls because they were shy slurping their noodles, since it is custom to slurp your noodles and make sounds when you're eating ramen or noodles to show people that you like it. Basically to show that you're enjoying your meal. Fun fact. Whatever the reasoning may be, I really think it is a wonderful way to really focus on what you're eating rather than, you know, your company or like what you're watching in front of your laptop. Even though I'm pretty sure like pulling up Netflix and watching Chef's Table or something would be pretty lit too. So as we were walking home, we saw a line, and in typical tourist fashion, we kind of had to, you know, hop in line too. The line ended up being for these really buttery and flaky apple tarts that tasted like warm mini apple pies. So good. After all of that, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the jet lag, maybe it was the itis, but we were all really tired and needed a nap. Once we woke up around like 8 p.m., we went straight to a 24-hour Don Quijote, which is a huge multi-level discount store in Japan that sells everything from random electronics to makeup to secondhand designer bags to vibrators. But honestly, if you want a true deal, you're better off going to like a local non-chain discount store. But nonetheless, it was a really good experience because there are so many floors. Since my mom, Tita, and I finished up in Don Quijote way before my uncles and my cousin did, and low-key because my mom was hangry, we hopped into a random sashimi spot, which I wish I knew the name of because it was so good, but it was in Japanese. But it's on Komachi Street, around the corner from the McDonald's by Ikebukuro Station, and the front of it looks like this. Just in case you ever find yourself in the area. Anyways, I got all of my favorite things. Chutoro, otoro, which is fatty tuna and basically extra fatty tuna, unagi nigiri or freshwater eel, amaebi nigiri or sweet shrimp, and ikura or salmon roe. Oh, and nigiri just means that the fish is placed on top of a little bed of seasoned rice. And that is the end of day one. Side note, is me explaining all the foods and things needed or too much? Because on one hand, I want to be informational, but on the other hand, I don't want to sound like a dick. Yeah, let me know. My outfit this day was by far my favorite of the whole trip. The shades are from Beacon's Closet near Union Square. The Nike sweater is thrifted from a random spot in Baltimore. The pants are from Savers in Vegas. The jacket's from Beacon's Closet in Brooklyn. The slot socks are from Broadway Market Company in Chinatown. The purse I got the night before at a spot right next to the Don Quijote. And as I'm saying all this, I kind of realized the fact that you can't really get any of these things because they're all thrifted. But at least I gave you where to get them, right? Yeah? Maybe? Yeah, for sure. Not only was this day the most jam-packed of the whole trip, but it was also the day of the fun run, which meant we had to wake up bright and early around 5 or 6 in the morning. The fun run and Tokyo Marathon were held in an event area in Kotoku, Tokyo, about an hour away-ish from where we were staying. But in fairness, it was a really nice ride because the majority of the time we were above ground. I think it started to get real for my mom when we got to the station because she was finally with her peoples. And she also ran the fun run with a couple of her really good friends, and they all wore that. But hey, me and my family were really excited for them. I mean, the moment had finally come where we would finally get to see them all cross the finish line. The moment we've all been waiting for. Just kidding. So we went to eat at the mall next to the event area and we missed them cross the finish line. But please enjoy this awesome footage I got of the mall takoyaki I had. They were so good. And look at that oil, man! That's how you know it's good. For the soul. Yeah, we kind of messed up there. But in our defense, we thought that she was going to take over an hour, but she actually went way under it. So nonetheless, we were really happy for her, and we were really happy for all of them too. Really proud. And yeah, so after we found them, it was time for lunch. As if we didn't just eat at the mall. I swear, man, that really describes our family. For lunch, we went to a food festival called Oishi Fest. Get it? Oishi? Which we actually saw on our way to the event area and thought that would be a perfect place for lunch. And it really was. But what was funny about all of this was the fact that my mom and her friends didn't change, so they were still wearing this. Needless to say, they had quite a few people come up to them to take pictures, which I don't know why, but I just thought was hilarious. But anyways, the festival was actually really lovely. They had all types of food and vendors and fresh produce there, everything. The first thing my family and I got were strawberries, and at first I was kind of like, really? Out of all this amazing food we get strawberries? But they actually ended up being one of the best ones I've ever had, no cap. The other food we got were classic fish and chips, little baby paellas that I thought were so cute, and these mini matcha takoyakis for dessert. After lunch, we had one more stop before going home for a much needed nap. This place is probably one of the most quintessential spots when traveling to Tokyo, and that is Shibuya Crossing. So Shibuya is most famous for its sheer mass of people who visit, commute, shop, work, everything there. It's also where the famous Hachiko statue is. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys, at this point of the day we were really tired, and as much as we wanted to see Shibuya, we didn't really want to go around. Our one and only plan was to get coffee at the Starbucks overlooking the crossing, which I actually recommend everyone doing because it really is the best view of it, because it's like a bird's eye view overlooking everything. What was funny was for how short of a time I was there, I took hella footage. Side note, I don't ever recommend having that take pictures and go mentality, because then I mean you never really actually went to the place, you just took pictures of it. But like I said, we were tired, so yeah, do as I say, not as I do, you know. I mean, I got videos crossing the street to Starbucks, the time lapse that was in the intro, a time lapse of my mom, a time lapse of my tito and my cousin, us crossing the street back to the train. Like, do you want a time lapse of that video I took of us crossing the street back to the train? Because I got you. You see that look back though? And after all that, it was finally time to go home and take that nap. I mean, can you tell we needed it or not? Once we woke up, it was time for dinner and we decided to stay in the area. My mom had a craving for shabu shabu, so I just googled the best and closest, and I found this all-you-can-eat and all-you-can-drink shabu shabu place called Onyasai. Oh, and for the people who aren't familiar, shabu shabu is a kind of hot pot with thinly sliced meat and veggies that cooks in the boiling water and is served with dipping sauces, usually a ponzu, which is like a citrusy soy sauce, and a sesame sauce. Shabu shabu is actually something my mom likes to make at home, but it was a really nice experience to go to an actual restaurant for it. Like, I was having a craving for mushrooms, so I asked the waiter if they had any, and he goes, yeah, we have 6 kinds. 6 kinds! I was in heaven. That's another thing. Our waiter was like the nicest person in the world. He was so accommodating, and he really wanted to practice his English, and we were of course happy to help. And he was just like nice and funny, and it was all a great time. Like, I really can't rave enough about this place. Not sponsored, obviously. I don't think I need to say this. This is my first video. If you have a chance, I highly recommend going here if you want that traditional shabu shabu experience at a really reasonable price. I mean, you get all of the meat you want, which includes premium Japanese Wagyu beef, all of the drinks. Most of us got green tea because, you know, health, and a dessert for I think around $30 or $40 per person. Like, it was a kind of shabu shabu place where you take your shoes off before you get to your table. You really do cook your own meals in the hot pot, and you even get different broths to cook the things in too. So that was the end of my favorite day in Tokyo. Now, on to the last day. So I decided to keep it pretty simple this day with just a Uniqlo heat tech turtleneck, the same jeans from Savers, my Guadalupe socks since it was Sunday. These I got from the same place I got the sloth socks, and my vagabond booties. So this day was definitely the most chill out of all the days. It was raining and it was cold, so we didn't really feel like doing too much. Especially since we were still going to Osaka and it was just not the time to get sick, you know what I mean? The day started off with going to mass with my family, which honestly I don't really usually do unless I'm with them. After that, we went to do our laundry once again since we were going to Osaka the next day. As the clothes were being washed, we went across the street to a random ramen spot that specializes in tsukemen ramen, which is just a type of ramen where the noodles are separate from the bowl and the toppings, and you dip the noodles into the broth. I decided to just get the classic ramen since I was feeling kind of under the weather, and I don't think there's a better remedy for a cold and rainy day than a hot bowl of noodle soup. After we finished and the laundry was done, we had more taiyaki, hopped into the dollar store we went to the first day, and then hopped back into bed. So since we didn't do much that day, I thought it was just a good opportunity to film what I brought with me on the Japan trip skincare wise. So for my moisturizer, I brought the Cosrx Moisturizing Lotion, the light toning water from Muji, but if I'm being honest, I mix my toner, so this is probably a mix of that, Pixie Glow Tonic, and the blue Bioderma Micellar Water. Not skincare, but the John Frieda Frizz Ease oil for my hair. I switched between this and BioSilk, but this one is way better to travel with. A random tea tree oil I got from Ricky's that has lasted me over a year now, I'm pretty sure. My piercing aftercare spray, since my nose piercing is fairly new, rosehip oil. The Misha Time Revolution Night Repair Ampule, which I use night and day, and I actually got this from Target online. They actually have a pretty good selection of skincare, of Korean skincare, which is really nice. I was really surprised. Oh, and not pictured because it was in the shower was my Skin Foods Bitter Green Cleanser. We finished the night off with Netflix, or for my mom and tita, K-dramas and snacks. And that, my friends, wraps up our trip to Tokyo. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you so much for watching. I deadass did every part of the making of this video, so if you like what you saw, please like, comment, share, subscribe, share with your friends, whatever you want to do, because anything you do is greatly appreciated. Want to know more about me? Click the link in the description box down below. My good friends created a magazine together, and your girl just happened to be the first issue. And if you want even more Tokyo goodness or sneak peeks into my other videos that I'm going to create, you can go check out my Instagram highlights. And if you want to keep up with me, then go ahead and follow, boo! Thank you to all the people who have encouraged me to start this journey in the first place, and those who have helped me along the way. I'm honestly really proud of what I'm creating, and I hope you are too. Well, that's it. I hope you have a fabulous day, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, let me look at this view. I don't know what I'm doing.
Uy, nawalan aking beef.
Someone stole it?
Ba? Alam na kagad siguro. Ay, tumapon yung aking phone.
Miss, I'm gonna miss. I didn't miss. Excuse me?
Bakit tanggalan niyo ng mga taba yung inyo, ha? Oh.
Fun fact, I actually took Japan. What? And fun fact, I actually took Japan. What the fuck? I actually took Japan. What the fuck? I took Japan, you know, all of it. Blah, 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 blah. Blah. We went la la la. We went up. So yeah, la 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 la. Recording? Yeah, I am. Okay, good. Are you recording? Ooh, it's recording. Do as I say, not as I do. What? Do as I say, not as I do, girl. And now on to the last day. Now on to the last day. Bye. I've been filming for a long time, guys. Okay. Wraps up our trip to Tokyo. Yes, I did it!